All right, we are live. It's the Spin and Backfist MMA show for Saturday, March 2nd. Immediate recap edition for UFC Vegas 87. It was Rosenstrike versus Gaziev tonight. Um, a decent card. It started off super hot and then kind of fizzled out by the end, but we got a couple good knockouts to talk about. Of course, presented by New Amsterdam Vodka, born from an uncompromising passion for great vodka. While making great vodka is their passion, we are inspired by those who stay true to who they are and share an unbridled passion for everything they do, from pursuing their dreams, celebrating with friends, to having an epic night out. This is why New Amsterdam Vodka is the official vodka of Barstool Sports. Find your wins with New Amsterdam. It's early right now. It's 7 p.m. So you could be just starting your night pre-gaming with a little UFC, a little spin and backfist MMA show, and then go out, have some New Amsterdam tonight, have a night. Find your wins.
Yeah, vodka soda, powered by New Amsterdam tonight. Nothing better than that. That's what it's all about. But yeah, we have the double vodka Don in here, so it's like
double vodka Don himself.
Maybe you want a few bets, have a couple doubles. I mean, I'll tell you, drink it all through college. Best bang for your buck. I swear. Good stuff.
Did you guys win a couple bets tonight? How was tonight bet wise for you guys? Hashtag DK partner.
It's okay. Won the main event, which needed the main event. That was big.
Rosenstrike
was big.
Yeah, I got saved by Biggie Boy. I ended up on the night. Had some bad bets early. Umar not going for the sub kind of blew it, or kind of hurt me, but I ended up hitting Rosenstrike round 4. I would have preferred round 5 because that was 40-1. But round 4, I hit 28-1, which was good, but nothing crazy. I mean, those are small bets. Those are more like long shots, but it saved the night. So shout out Biggie Boy. What a performance. Yeah. Gaziev just, I mean, he looked okay.
He's not on that level. Yeah.
He's not on that level. And I would say the future is bright, but he's 34. He's an old guy, and not really.
He is, but he's in the heavyweight division too.
True. But I will say,
another probably 6 years left in him if he wants it.
I know he quote unquote quit on the stool, but he did show his toughness.
He spitting out his mouth guard constantly. The mouth guard was a weird narrative throughout the fight. He kept opening his mouth. The mouth guard is falling out. They're saying it doesn't fit him. And then, he said something to his corner, and Mark Goddard was like, I want to know what he said to his corner. He started scolding everyone. It was a great Mark Goddard scolding. I said, I love when he starts yelling at people. What did he say to his corner? It was great. And then eventually he's like, he can't see, so they called it off. Yeah.
I mean, Rosenstrike was using his head like a Pez, like one of those bop his head, snapping back. I mean, he's got a head like just a lead made head. I mean, on my bonk meter, he's on the like Vittori side. Like I think he's not very bonkable. He was tough, but I mean, I think there's a lot of guys at heavyweight he would beat.
But I agree.
But
not the top heavyweights.
I mean, the takedown defense looked good. I think I might have said it earlier, but I think Rosenstrike Lewis just feel it's just one of those fights you feel like it's already happened and it hasn't. That has to be the fight. Derek Lewis, Rosenstrike. Just a fight that has to be made. It's the perfect like fight night main event or like a fight on like a pay-per-view card. That has to happen.
So, I agree. I saw people tweeting that afterwards too. Aaron Bronstetter said the same thing. He was like, I feel like I watched that fight already. It's outrageous that it hasn't happened.
That's just so funny. I've said it. You said it, Robbie. Bronstetter said it. I like, if you put a gun to my head and it was like, has Jairzinho Rosenstrike and Derek Lewis fought before? I'd be like, yeah, they fought twice.
Yeah. It's crazy. But we got obviously like a couple knockouts to start off the night and then a couple decisions to end the night. I thought the biggest moment of the night was clearly from Oliveira, the flying knee knockout. Outrageous. I called it knockout of the year so far. I said one of the best flying knee knockouts I've ever seen. The way it was set up, it reminded me a few years ago. I forget who it was, but they set up the flying knee. I think it was in Bellator, and they pointed to the guy right before they hit it. They pointed to him.
We interviewed him. Was it
is it Brennan Ward?
ZB or something?
No, it ends with like Aldo. Not what's the
Trinaldo.
something Minaldo, or like he trains Roman. I think maybe Roman might be his first name. He trains with
Something like
Masvidal.
that. But that's what it reminded me of, in that the opponent was against the fence, just fucking out of it, did not see a flying knee coming, and then the flying knee lands and throws him into ragdoll mode, where he just completely crumples.
Not to bring up sore subjects on this show, it reminded me a little bit of Bonfim McKinney, to be honest with you, just a little bit.
Yeah,
like the way
he
had
crumbled,
him hurt bad in the feet, and just threw it out of nowhere, and just you didn't see it coming at all. Yeah. I mean, he was like comatose. That was insane knockout.
And then getting the Steve Erceg knockout, just a hook that completely flatlined Matt Schnell. That was crazy as well. Like, something was in the water for the first few fights of this card, where it was like, holy fuck, people are getting flatlined out there. Schnell, another guy who obviously he's tough. First round was a slugfest, but he fights like a lunatic. Like, eventually he's going to get caught, and there he got caught.
I kind of like Astro Boy Erceg. I think he's kind of good. Like, I mean, I'm not going to look too much into the power of his hands, because I mean, and it's no disrespect to Matt Schnell. I mean, he's been around for so long. Man, Ev, he may be on the opposite end of the bonk meter. Like, no disrespect, but he's he may be the most bonkable guy going right now. Now that what's his name left?
Yeah, Phil Hall's getting cut. Really,
Phil Hall.
A lot of skinny guys started looking around and pointing at each other like the Spider-Man. It's you. Hawes was the face.
I think
Adams is right in the Rumble chat, by the way. Bisping did call the knockout before it happened, like a minute before it happened. He said it was going to happen.
The just overall skill that Erceg seems to have, he's just I'm excited to see how far he can really take it. I don't know how far, but man, him calling out Moreno, I don't think Moreno really has the drive to fight an up-and-comer guy like that anymore. Maybe, but he's kind of at that point where he's like top. What's Nicolau doing these days?
He had that knockout to Royval. Has he fought since then?
No.
Oh no, wait, wasn't he supposed to fight Cop, and that was who got canceled? Was that it?
Was that it? It might have been.
Was that when Felipe dos Santos took that fight? It was supposed to be Nicolau, maybe.
Here's from Chatbot Jerry. What would you line Erceg Mokaev? That would be I don't think they would want to put them up against each other right now, but it's a hell of a fight.
If the Erceg plus money, I'm taking that all day.
Yeah, I mean, Mokaev, I wasn't impressed. Well, again, I wasn't impressed with him tonight.
What would you put Erceg against Royval?
Royval, I think Royval's like really good. I mean, I would say Royval minus like 250. Am I crazy for saying that?
No, I was going to guess the 200 range. And I think Erceg, we haven't seen him extended. Royval's cardio is so good, like we saw on Saturday or last Saturday. But I would like to see that fight. I mean, Royval, like, I feel like that's a hell of a matchup. But that division's like kind of in a weird spot, especially with Mokaev tonight.
Yeah, Mokaev, like, this guy is on complete fraud watch. And every fight he's sneaking by, but he's on fraud watch.
They're just in this weird spot where, like, all the guys at the top have already challenged. Like, Royval's about to be like his third time fighting Pantoja, and it feels like Cobb hasn't stepped up. Like, Erceg made like a nice statement tonight for him to like throw his kind of hat in that ring, or at least like towards that. Mokaev was underwhelming. Where Mokaev with like a dominant win could have legitimately got the next title shot, I think.
Do you think
they're probably could have in the state of the division now, as we're saying?
Right now, like Moraine, especially if Pantoja keeps the belt, because now it's like, what are you going to throw? Like, you're going to throw Royval again. If he loses, then like Moreno is kind of like, you're not going to just do Moreno again. And then,
but you can't give it to him off this performance, right?
No, definitely not. Against Perez, no chance. I think you go. Who was I just going to say? Cop needs like a big. If Cop could get like a big win, or like even I'm trying to think who else even they could really like. Like, there's
But
no one that
weird
really
time
makes
for
like
the
a lot of
division.
sense.
but the thing is, that 301 card's in May. We're not too far away from it.
I think
Yeah.
Royval gets it. You beat Moreno as
Yeah,
like
it's
a
just
big
like,
dog in a main event.
Yeah.
I think you get that fight.
and Royval's call out after it was actually pretty good. The only
Yeah.
thing is, it's like we saw him against Pantoja, and you just I get it. There's another, like, maybe it's the first time you're in a title, right? That was the first time he was in a Royval's title fight, right? Or did
Yeah,
he fight
Yeah.
bigger?
Yeah.
And I get it, bright lights, big card, but he just, especially in that 5th round when it seemed like Pantoja was kind of on the ropes, he just didn't show me enough that it was like, he calls himself a junkyard dog, but that's why that fight doesn't. I was hoping a big win for Mokaev tonight, and I know he said he was sick, but it wasn't
Yeah.
great. I mean, Perez kind of just showed, like, if Perez even had a decent game plan in round 3, he wins that fight.
For sure.
I even
Yeah.
think there's an argument to say he won the fight. I'm not saying he did. I know, like, people like Magic on Twitter were saying he should have won the fight, but I mean, like, Mokaev was just like, eh. And the thing is, he's 23 though. He could still kind of improve.
Yeah, of course.
The problem that this is what I was saying. It's that Kai and Albazi had that weird fight where like Albazi won, but Kai like definitely should have won. So like they're both in a weird spot where like you get the guy of a law, basically like technically 2 losses because he lost to Moreno and then lost that fight, and then you give it to Albazi who like was underwhelming, didn't win win. Odd people didn't think he won, and that's like the rest of the top 5.
Yeah. It's,
So I mean,
it's
somebody
a mess right now.
Yeah, just somebody's got to step up after Royval.
Another guy that I just like, and tonight he had the best performance of his career, Christian Leroy Duncan. I watched this fight, great performance by him, and then I watched his post-fight interview. I think it might just be his voice, where I love this guy. He's got like a very deep, almost Joel Embiid voice, but with a British accent. And I loved DC throwing a ricochet shot at UK cuisine on his way out. Like, he interviews him and he's like, UK love the football, hate the food. All right, see ya. And then 2 seconds later, he's claiming he's got a 210-17 record in EAFC, the new soccer game. He's like, I'm 210-17 online. I don't know if I believe that, but DC was on one tonight.
DC, there was also DC was like constantly trying to talk about other things. And then like Bisping would just be like, well, guys, we're here to talk about the fights. Then there was like a little weird thing. I don't know if this may just be the difference in culture with British, but like DC was promoting his new show and Bisping was like, must be nice, must be nice. I was like, are you bitter that he got a show over you? Like, I don't know what to tell you, Bisping. Like, you're over
Sounds
the pond.
like it.
But actually,
Bisping does have a good YouTube show. Like, he would probably be good on an ESPN Plus type show.
He would, yeah. I mean, they should bring Bisping in on for.
He should be a third voice on Good Guy and Bad Guy.
Good Guy, Bad Guy. I mean, that would be a hell of a show. But yeah,
I am excited for that. I think it's going to be a good show.
210-17, DC and EAFC. I didn't realize he likes soccer.
Yeah, I guess he does.
From Louisiana, like he's from the sticks.
Probably one of those guys that got into it through FIFA and the video games. A lot of my friends growing up did that. So I picture him as a guy who doesn't really watch a ton, but plays a lot of FIFA or EAFC.
I mean, you end up in like an MMA gym. It's global. Everyone's soccer fans.
True.
Yeah, and there's like an athlete like them. They have so much time where they're just like they can't really do anything because if you train too much, you'll overtrain. So you're kind of just like, what are you supposed to do? And you're supposed to quote unquote rest, and so they play video games, I guess. But DC, just a FIFA. If we ever get to interview him, I'm gonna have to talk to him about his football knowledge.
I know he's great at Madden. Him and Weidman have had their Madden battles over the years. So we got some other knockouts on the card. Klein with an awesome just kick to the gut knockout that sucked AJ Cunningham into the mat. Like, he went down at a rapid pace, an astounding pace. Dominant performance. Loic in the first fight. Great knockout, but horrible stoppage. Chris Toyoni, the fuck are you doing there? He got dropped. His head hit the canvas like a basketball, and then he ate like 15 unanswered shots afterwards. It was crazy.
I was hoping to see another angle of it where it's like, oh, he was awake and he was actually trying to do something because
Yeah,
we saw
no.
the opposite side. Then we saw it. His eyes were closed.
It was like he was daydreaming watching this guy get his head beat in.
I mean,
I
his right arm was like pinned back
It's
too.
trapped.
So he was literally, his head was just like, this is like eating punches. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
That was a horrible stoppage. Horrible. So that was a weird start to the night. And when he got in there later on, Chris Tognoni, I was like, uh-oh. This guy's having a night. Like he's gonna let someone die in there. Thank God he didn't. Zahabi, Ev, you called that one, right? The Basharat fraud check.
Yeah, it was one of those where I was like upset with myself. I played it small and I was like kicking myself. I had a busy kind of like family day, so I wasn't really I didn't like lock in as much as I thought. But yeah, I've just never been like crazy about Basharat. Even in the first, even like when he was picking up, I thought the second round was pretty close, but he's got no pop in his hands. He's not like, he just doesn't. I just don't think he offers. Like, I think anyone in the top 15 has given him given him a lesson. And I don't think Zahabi's like incredible, but he's been good at dragging people into these like very weird fights that are just like fit his skill set.
Yeah. Chat's giving you some thanks for giving him certain picks. Hashtag DK partner. Thank you, DraftKings.
Yeah, appreciate the boys.
What else do we got? Eric Anders, Jamie Pickett. That fight
my
was no good. That was bad.
That's just too like, and then like really guys.
Yeah. That was kind of the start of like the card like taking a bit of a turn there.
And it started the fight. Charlie and Alt, or like,
yeah,
she was like, yeah. Guess what? Jamie Pickett's retiring after this fight, and he wants to call out Dana White's bull. And I think she just said the wrong bull name, but still,
she
was
called
just
it Twisted
very...
Tea. Yeah, it's Twisted Steel. She said like, Dana White, we've got a message for you. He wants to ride Twisted Tea. If Dana White was watching that, he must have just been like, oh no, Twisted Steel. Come on. Yeah, she was close, and John Anik covered up for her well. He was like, look at that. He wants to ride Twisted Steel. He just like pretended like she didn't say Twisted Tea.
Just a pro's pro.
Yeah, he's the best. Umar Nurmagomedov. Very scary moment in the first 30 seconds of this fight. He gets dropped in the first minute. It was crazy. Then came back, won the fight, kind of did what he was expected to do. But yeah, that got the heart, the blood flowing, heart pumping.
I wonder what they do with him after this fight.
I mean, know. Apparently, nobody wants to fight him.
You got to give him top 15. Obviously, like, it just like there's like I just didn't understand the matchmaking in this fight. Like, why did they make it? Like, why did they make this fight? What was the point?
I guess they swore that nobody wanted to fight him. Like, they could not find. But like at some point, what do you mean? Like, you have to make people fight each other, right? It's the UFC.
I mean, somebody's. I mean, I really, if they would make it, I really would like to see them run back the Sandhagen matchup.
Yeah,
I would love to
see
that. I think that would be a real, like, that's real. Like, if you beat Sandhagen, like, you're title shot worthy for sure.
Yeah,
he called out Sandhagen and said, "I think that'd be a great fight." Yeah, weird fight. I think that Kazakhstani fighter's pretty good, but I mean, like, Umar, if he really wants to.
I think he is too. Yeah, that like good debut
bad
in terms of coming in and being thrown right to the wolves. Yeah.
Now, if he wants to be a title contender, which I mean, obviously he kind of is, it would have been nice to see him on the feet a little bit more, because I feel like when he got bonked, it wasn't really even. I know he got injured, but I don't know. I feel like he should have. I get it. You have to win the fight, stay on the, like, go back to what you know, being a Dagestani wrestler and dominating that way. But like, he kind of got hit up here. It wasn't like it was like,
it was
you're striking so bad.
Yeah.
But still, I even Javier Mendez after round 2 was saying, guys, make sure, no, like, just take him down. He's too dangerous on the feet, which, I mean, maybe they saw through tape study and whatnot, but I would have liked to see a little bit more from Umar on the feet. Then again, I mean, he did knock out Raoni Barcelos in his last fight, so it's the Sandhagen fight would be just phenomenal. I know they were going to have that headline Nashville, right? Or am I making that up?
It was
I think that's
definitely
correct.
it was definitely a crowd pay-per-view for sure.
I think
Yeah, so I'm like,
Nashville was
Fight
when
night.
Dana White walked out on Sandhagen. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Then the only fight we haven't talked about tonight is the co-main event, Petrino versus Tyson Pedro. Pedro loses. He retires afterwards. Kind of sounds like he just doesn't love MMA anymore. He's like, my priorities, my dreams, my goals have gone elsewhere. Congrats to him. Good career. But not a great fight, you know. Kind of just
I think Petrino's actually pretty good. I think he
Yeah.
did what he needed to do. I mean, I think he's like solid. I think I said before the fight he should get a top 15 if he wins. I think it wasn't the most like it wasn't super overwhelming or anything, but Pedro's dangerous. I understand like why he fought the way he did probably, and I think he's worth getting like one of those guys in the back end of the top 15.
I could see.
I mean,
that,
he's what is he 5-0 in the UFC now? 4-0, 5-0.
Mhm.
It's about time. He's
Chatbot Jerry in the Rumble chat. Shameful retirement, all caps. Come on, give the guy some respect. I was a little like, maybe this is a bad thing to say. I was a little surprised they gave him the mic to retire. I know that's just a respect thing, but I didn't know he was like on that level where they were like, we'll give you a retirement speech.
I was surprised he retired too. I mean, I guess he did say that his dreams are in other places now, so maybe he has like other goals. But I mean, like a loss like this, I mean, he would still be on every Australian card. He
Yeah,
would still
definitely.
like it's like, I mean, I don't know. I get if your heart's not in it, then I get it. But I was surprised that he retired. I had it muted and I was like, why are they interviewing him? And then I was like, no way, he's retiring. And then
yeah,
I mean, Tyson Pedro, he's had some moments.
Yeah, some decent mo. He has that classic knockout where he does the fucking sword thing. He's, crazy celebration, and
Yeah,
people loved him.
I mean, he got into that car crash or whatever. Maybe it was a motorcycle crash.
he had a bunch
like
of
3 years of his career.
Knee injuries for a while.
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of potential and hope. I mean, I wouldn't say he didn't fulfill any of it, but he definitely.
Boom! This guy says he's focused on raising his daughter. Good for him.
Oh, okay, good for him. Yeah.
That's pretty much it for the card, though. I'm looking down the list right now. I feel like there's nothing else that we have.
We're on to 299, fellas.
We're on to 299, and 299 is amazing. Even the little MVP like vignette commercial they played for him today, I was fucking fired up. I was like, oh shit, we're getting MVP coming to the UFC. That whole card is just ridiculous.
I mean, the main card is just so good. Every fight is lined close too. I mean, it's rare you see that in UFC where like all 5 fights. I think the only one that's over like a 200 or higher is the main event, and it's not by a lot.
Yeah, and that fight is another one where like I think I know who's going to win, but I'm not like crazy confident in O'Malley in that fight, but like I think he's going to win. But again, that's what makes for an amazing main event.
Everyone thought he was going to win last time.
Yeah. All right. That was UFC Vegas 87 recap. Shout out New Amsterdam Vodka for sponsoring the show. We'll be back, of course, next week to break down UFC 299 as a whole. We'll go through every fight on the card, maybe some fight news, fight announcements before then. So make sure to subscribe wherever you're watching this. Reminder that we do have a podcast feed. You could listen to this on a podcast feed, and we will talk to you next week.